What is up, you guys? I wanted to bring to you today the new strategy I've been using in real estate to try to get my short-term rentals to be top tier, and that is new construction. It actually just kind of fell in my lap by accident, and over the last few years I realized that this is the way to get into short-term rentals, especially in the Poconos market where there's some competition but not a ton. So we'll talk through how you can make this happen, why it's a good idea, my latest new construction project that I invested in, and how you can get started. So the market's been pretty funky lately and interest rates are up. It looks like with most real estate, the place to be right now is short-term rentals. The cash flow is heavier, you're creating an experience. You have a good opportunity to find yourself in some cash flow despite the market conditions. But the problem is inventory is really low. And with inventory being low, when something half decent comes up, there are 5, 10, 15 offers on the same house. So you are going to have to pay a premium to get into the market. So one of the reasons I really like new construction and find it so interesting is you're not competing with other people. You decide what you want to go forward with and what you want to build. And then from there, you sign a contract at the price that you already knew about. It's not like you're offering 50K over. It's not like the builder's gonna squeeze you and say, oh, now that I know that you want this, it's gonna be more. That's it. So you get to handpick like every factor of the house and tailor it to be the short-term rental that you want. So number of bedrooms, the build style, if you want to go a chalet, a cabin, whichever option you want to go with. Personally, I recently went with the A-frame, and then I customized it to fit the exact criteria I wanted that I see in this market, in the Poconos, and what's going to make the most money and have the best chance at a viable return. So as opposed to competing with a million other people on the same house, you are going to get to tailor make exactly what you want, not have anyone competing with you, and put yourself in the best position with the right amenities and features of the house to make the most money. So for a lot of people, myself included, new construction is just not even an option or on your radar when you're thinking about your next investment. We all love the instant gratification of being able to make an offer on a house, close on it 30, 45 days later, and get started with renting. Well, there is a reward that comes with the ability to wait. Now, a lot of times you're going to start from square one, not really know what that process looks like, and that's why I'm here with you today, is to work you through it, because I accidentally got land in a portfolio deal that I purchased. So I ended up with a bunch of houses and a piece of land. I was looking into how to do something with that land, and ultimately over the course of 2 years I ended up interviewing dozens of builders. I ended up looking at dozens of financing products. I ended up looking at dozens of builders' products then on what to build. And eventually I realized that there are 3 things that matter a lot when you're doing new construction deals. And they all relate to the builder. The first is how affordable are their products? Are they going to upcharge you like crazy? And why would they upcharge you like crazy? Why would one builder want to charge you more than the other? Obviously they want to make more money, but the way that they're able to do that are the other 2 factors. So the quality of the product is going to be very key here, especially in short-term rentals. You want a high-quality product. And then the most important factor, in my opinion, is time. So many builders will not agree to any certain timeline. They're just going to build it at their pace, and that is the last thing you deal with. A competent builder will be able to get your product done in 9 to 12 months. The builder that I work with and that I am going to highly recommend to you is able to get houses done in 6 to 9 months. Usually 6, we like to say 9. That way we can promise you one thing and deliver at it or better. But 9 months is still fantastic, especially in this market when some builders are taking 24 to 36 months. And that's the big apprehension to building, right? Like I said, you can close in 30 to 45 days on a regular house, spend a little bit of time renovating, or maybe it's already ready. The big name of the game in building is time, because if you're sitting there holding the financing for 6 to 9 months without a house, like you're hoping to get the right product. If you're sitting there holding the financing for 24 months to 36 months, you might be out of business. So the right builder is critical in the sense that you've got to find someone who has a competitively priced product, still able to do a quality job, and also is reasonable with the timeline. In most cases, you're going to get 2 out of 3. Luckily, I have a partner that I can recommend here that can hit all 3. how they do that is they just really love what they do. They have a ton of experience, so it's not hard to go fast and high quality. And they just take a lot of pride in their work. So that's the kind of person you do want to be partnered with, someone who's more about the final product and reputation than just the money. And I'd be glad to make that recommendation below in the comments. So now that we've talked about what's important when getting into a build on the logistical end, let's talk about what makes a short-term rental work when you're building a house. So a lot of times, just generally when I look for short-term rentals, I'm looking for large windows, high ceilings. In this market up in the Poconos, you definitely want something that's either rustic or modern or a fine combination of the two. There are several different bedroom and size classes that are going to work better than others. Often that's going to be 5 bedrooms or more, 2 bedrooms or less. As far as the house type, I personally am having an A-frame built right now. It is a 7-bedroom A-frame. It's got the large windows, it's got the high ceilings. It's about 3,000 square feet, so it is a massive product. It's going to appeal to multiple families at a time. It's got the rustic look with pine everywhere, and just a house that looks like it belongs in this market. A lot of people struggle because they look for high value, like a long-term rental, see how cheap they can get a 3-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house. And that ends up biting them because you now have the cheapest 4-bedroom house in the market. How do you think that's going to compete in an experience-based market against other products? It's not. You definitely want to get one of the more expensive in the bedroom class. So like if you have a 2-bedroom place, you want the nicest 2-bedroom on the whole, because it's going to be the first one rented every time. So with building, you are able to tailor make the product you want. With me, I wanted an A-frame. I worked with an architect. I got the GC partner to agree to do it, and she is doing a fabulous job with mine. We're about 5 months in, and we've got about 6 weeks left to have this entire 7-bedroom house completed. And I just have a ton of confidence in how it's going to do in the rental market. But she can also do giant log cabins, anywhere from 5 bedrooms up to 9 bedrooms. And then also there are other floor plans that just have ridiculous amounts of space and high ceilings and large windows that you can really add whatever type of recreation room you want, arcades, maybe even put your own bowling alley in. The options are endless. You just would have to talk to us and we'll try to figure out which one is going to make most sense in this market. But regardless, going new construction has so many factors that are going to put you ahead of the rest of the crowd. And I think the last piece that really put me over the edge in getting into it is the financing. So you are able to get into what's called a temp to permanent loan. I came from real estate in Philadelphia, where a lot of times you're going to take out a construction-based loan that is 10 to 12 to 14% interest to build the house. You got to go fast. You do not want to be caught in that interest rate for a long time. Well, in this market, it's possible to get a temp to perm loan that's at the prime rate. So, for example, my house is at a 7% rate during the build. You only are getting charged on the draws, which means only the money the builder is using to actually complete the project at that time. So it's not like you're paying a mortgage on the entire price of the build the whole time. If she only uses 30% of the money up front, then I'm only paying interest on that 30%. And because it's at the prime rate at the 7%, it's not an arm and a leg. The coolest part is when it's done, it automatically turns into 30-year financing, and that 30-year amortization starts. So in the beginning, it's interest only on the prime rate, very affordable, especially considering you're getting the best product and not having to bid out other people. And then at the end, you stick with that same rate and get an automatic 30 years. You don't have to deal with double closing. It's not like you're buying it, having to build it, having to refinance. It's just one closing. The loan is set up for the life of it. And then all you have to worry about is pre-ordering the furniture so you can get it assembled and up and online and renting as quickly as possible. So that's it, guys. It's really not that difficult to get into new construction. I know it's not something you've probably been thinking about, but I just did my first one. It's been a tremendous experience. I'm really excited to get it out there on the rental market. I'm about to start ordering furniture. I urge you, if you're interested in getting into short-term rentals, you have 150K to play with to get started, and you want to come out with one of the best products in the market. It's very well furnished and something that's going to present the highest cash-on-cash return. New construction is definitely the way that you want to go with this thing. So you've watched through this whole video at this point. Take some action, reach out to me. I can answer any questions you have and help get you through the process. But if you are looking to create financial freedom through real estate, building a short-term rental in the Poconos is the move.